Nice to see you. So I'm just going to put this here to remind you that you are beautiful. Thank you, Marina, for the honor of being able to be here today, for interviewing me, to get to be with these amazing ladies that you've heard. It's such a privilege to be with all of you as well, because it takes all of us to do what it is that we need to do in the world to make that difference. I love how everything today that was said has all cascaded. I swear all these women are on these index cards. They all contributed to what I'm going to offer you today. And one thing that struck me is a quote from Maya Angelou, and she said, "People will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. They will never forget how you made them feel." And it's true today for me. How I feel right now, my cup runneth over with, and I love how Kim talked about heart, because I wear a heart when I'm going to be engaging in something that's very near and dear to my heart. And you are very near and dear to my heart, and that's why I do what I do. There was a mention of a defining moment, and for me that defining moment came 10 years ago when I moved to Winnipeg, when I embraced my citizenship as a Winnipegger. And it was when I was on the stage as an MC. And it struck me when I was up here that how was I connecting with people? What was my presence? What did I need to pay attention to? Some people that were in the audience weren't listening, they were on their phones, and I thought, what do I need to change within myself? And that sent me on a deep dive into finding out what was it that some people had that I didn't have, and what did they have that I wanted. So why I care about developing ideal presence and why it is that I do what I do right now is because of what we've heard today. Branding is a part of that story. What is our personal brand? And I care deeply because we all have a passion. We all have something that we're here to contribute to the world with. We're all unique. I know it's winter and I'm going to sound cliche. Yes, you are all snowflakes. Absolutely. And there is nobody here like you. Nowhere. You are all special and you all have your own unique and ideal presence. So how do we integrate all that we've heard today and move forward with this? Because we've been inspired by what's been shared. We've heard what these amazing women have offered us from their years of experiences and their relationships and what they've gone through, their challenges. So this is why I care deeply about this, because there has to be a way. And in business, people don't buy what we do, they buy who we are. So what I'd like to offer you today is this way. Hopefully today is a defining moment in your lives from all that has been shared. And I'd like to offer you a way to be able to integrate what we've heard, and that starts with intention. And we've heard that. An intention can be a goal, we can have an intention for our business, and for me, intention is with the heart. So what is the deepest desire of your heart? From what you've heard today, do you have in your heart more of an intention for your life? The second piece to developing your ideal presence, and we're not going to go through it today because you already know it. It's the outer presence. It's not that. It's our suit. It's how we look, how we walk. It's our expressions, how we shake a hand, how we exchange a business card. That's all the outer presence. So I'm hoping that you'll take away today, as you integrated everything that we've heard, is how to develop your inner presence. So how do we start with that? Well, I'm going to ask everybody to smile. So and I know you guys at the back, because I went around and introduced myself. I want to see you smile, please. So everybody smile, because we have been given so much today. And by shifting your facial expression, you actually create a difference within your body, within your physiology. So smiling brings up more of that joy-filled place. So when we want to start anything new and embrace it, smile. Not because you have to, but because you get to. That's why. And it's just plain good for you. So why wouldn't you want to smile? The other piece that I'd like to take you into now is I want you to just notice your posture. So some of you might be, we're getting a little bit tired, and we're just, how are we sitting? So I just want you to wiggle in your seats a little bit, because again, movement, and we heard that, we need to be in action, and movement really helps us. So now that you've wiggled a little bit and you're a little bit more comfortable, I'm going to invite everybody to stand. And so what I'd like you to do is put your arm straight out in front of you, your right arm, and it's horizontal. And then what you're going to do is you're going to move your arm, so I'm going to face this way, and you're going to move your arm to the left. So just move it as far as you can move it, okay? So, and then bring it back, put your arm down. Now close your eyes for a moment. Now what I want you to visualize, your arm moving 1/3 more. So see your arm moving more, feel your body moving more. Tell yourself, tell your body, I am going to move 1/3 more. So breathe that in. Open your eyes, lift up your arm, and move your arm. Okay, and have a seat. So how many people move their arm a little bit more? Okay. So what you've heard today, if you want to integrate this and move it forward in your life, tell your body you can do it, because you just proved it to yourself right now. If you shift your posture when you're listening to somebody speaking with you, that you want to really take that in. Sit up, listen, breathe, and that's where we're going to go to next. So I want you to take a deep breath in, raise your shoulders, drop your shoulders, and let it out. It's difficult for us to move forward if we're anxious. If we're in a conversation with somebody and we're all thinking about ourselves and we're all stressed out, we're actually not listening, and we're not, as Kim said, being present with that person. So if we want to shift something in our life, I would really invite you to be focused on your breath. So now what I'd like you to do is take a quick breath in and then breathe out slowly. Now do this again. Now, I don't know if you felt the energy in the room. Just calm down a little bit. So you can use this technique in a business meeting, if you're going for an interview and you're feeling a bit of nerves, before you need to speak, before you meet a new client. You can tell your body, okay, I can do this, and take a deep breath. So we're starting to really go inward now to integrating that which is going to bring what we want for our life. The next piece that I'd like to invite you to is to have an attitude of gratitude. I learned a long time ago I was shared somebody shared with me that, Christine, if you want to cure self-pity, have an attitude of gratitude. And it's true, because when I'm grateful to be with people, to get to eat the delicious food that we were served today, to get to be in the company of all of you amazing women, if I'm grateful, then my energy is high, I'm listening better, and I'm not in this place of, oh, poor me. And you know how our body gets when we're feeling sorry for ourselves, and then we get the flu, and then we don't feel good enough, and then we tell ourselves a story. And so if we shift that to an attitude of gratitude, I'm going to challenge you and see what happens. What I've done is I've integrated an attitude of gratitude each night. So before I go to sleep at night, I have a gratitude journal. And I started that gratitude journal, and I was being really thankful about things in my life and people that I love and opportunities that I have. And then I had a friend recommend to read the book by Joe Dispenza called Change the Habit of Being Yourself. And I started reading that, and Joe talks about, why are people only grateful for things that are in the past? Why aren't they grateful for things in their future? I'm like, ding, ding, ding. So now I've added in my gratitude journal things that I'm grateful for that are taking me toward my intention. The people that I'm going to meet, the things that I'm going to accomplish, the goals that I have that I know are coming my way. So you can look at your year coming up and be thankful and grateful for what's coming your way already. Because science tells us that the future is the stronger attractor. We wonder sometimes why we aren't getting where we want to go, and it's because we keep putting that ball and chain of the past in front of us and living into our past. You know, my teachers keep saying to me, Christine, let go of the past. It doesn't exist. Science tells us this. Why aren't you listening? And it's true. So if we can just let the past go and move into that future that is ours, if we can imagine it, it is so. So if we can be grateful for what's already in our future, the sky's the limit for you. And you can develop that presence more within yourself. So we've talked about posture. We're going to be more conscious of our breath, perhaps. We're going to have an attitude of gratitude. And the next piece that is really, 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 really important is to check your negative self-talk at the door. Because the only place that negative self-talk gets us is in a deeper and deeper hole in our life. And it actually can physiologically make us sick. So if we're continually beating ourselves up inside, saying, I am not good enough, I don't belong here, I'm never going to get anywhere, then what's going to happen? We're actually feeding that to ourselves. You're right, because we're telling ourselves we're not going to get anywhere, so we won't. And I really feel that it's the biggest damage that nobody does it to us, that we do to ourselves. So stop it. Stop it. And what happens when we actually have negative self-talk is that we then turn it on others. And that's not a kind story. So if we could take off the harshness within ourselves, then what could that do to our personal brand, to our presence? So what I'd like you to do now, we're going to move because it's the end of the day, so I'm going to get you to stand again. And I'd like you to look straight in front of you, so pick a place on the wall, the person's back of the person's head in front of you. So just notice at a horizontal place, pick a spot. Look at that spot. And then I'd like you to close your eyes. And to yourself, repeat after me. I am beautiful. I am confident. I am loving. I am magnificent. I am successful. I am loved. I am enough. I am beautiful. And open your eyes and have a seat. How many of you did your eyes go up a little bit? Just a little bit. Because what happens when we tell ourselves these positive words that we already are, it can elevate who we are inside. So what if, before we leave our home in the morning, we checked our posture, how are we feeling? We took a deep breath and we relaxed. Maybe we need to take more than one deep breath. You know, for those of you who do yoga or meditation, or you're an athlete, you know how important the breath is. In fact, we detoxify 70% of the toxins through our breath. So let go of all that caca. It's a highly technical word, caca. And have a piece of gratitude for what you have and where you're going to. And then the self-talk. What is it that you want to tell yourself? Because nobody else, people can tell us all they want. Unless we tell it to ourselves, we can't make a difference. We have to believe it, and we want to own it. So I would really invite you to tell yourself, you are beautiful, whatever that is for you. So right now, I'd like you to just make a note, either on your pad of paper that you have or in your iPhones. Create your present sentence for yourself. I am, and then you decide. What is that word for you? So just make a note of that, because we will need to come to it when we wrap up. So why I care about developing ideal presence is because it really does help us eliminate judgment so that we can hear each other. We want to stop judging and start embracing our greatness and others' greatness and listen to them more. We can really make a difference in our lives and others' lives. I had the good fortune, I work with hundreds of clients, and one recently, and I thought it was such a perfect gift before coming here that I could share her story, and I did get permission. So a woman I worked with, she wanted to develop her ideal presence of what that meant for her. And so we talked about a few things, and she went to work, and she decided, okay, I'm going to do this inner work. I'm really going to embrace my present sentence. And she changed a few of the outer pieces, and in a very short time, people at work started noticing the difference in her. Hey, you're more confident. Hey, I noticed something shifted in you. And she had more confidence within herself, so much so that she decided she was going to ask for a raise, and I'm pretty sure she's going to get it. And her a few months ago was not that. And so she decided to really take action and say to herself, I am enough. I am magnificent. You know, we heard be authentic. So this isn't about me saying to you, be something. This is about you being authentic for what's important for you. What is your intention for you and your life? And we heard the idea, Dr. Moira talked about, we need to stretch a little bit, get out of our comfort zone. So if this present sentence stretches you a little bit, that's great, because the neuroscience is there. We need to stretch. We need to create new pathways to something that maybe we haven't done before. I love that science is finally catching up with what the mystics have known for millennia, you know, that this is important for us. And the other piece that we're invited to today, so we've heard what amazing women have said and who have shared with us, and thank you again to all of them. And now we need to be in action, because reading books, and we've heard that just hearing what we've been offered today isn't enough. We want to be in action toward our goal, toward our intention. What is that desire of our heart? So Give yourself permission to get messy. Because this is not, we've heard it today, this is not about perfection. This is about you building a new muscle, stretching. When we first start yoga, or I started taking tango lessons, I can just say, I thought I knew how to breathe and walk. Not so much. That is the biggest stretch that I've had in a lot of years, to learn how to walk and breathe, learning tango. So that's my stretch. And we have to be in action, otherwise we're just going to sit back and do the same old. Get a sponsor. We heard get a sponsor, get a mentor, get a coach. We want to do this with someone, because it's time for us to come out of isolation as individuals, like we are here today, and be with our people. Colleen talked about that. Get your team, be with your people. Find somebody who's going to be honest and kind, because the truth, people say, oh, we've got to tell the truth. The truth isn't unkind. My teacher says, the truth is always kind. So be kind to yourself and ask for somebody to work with you who will also be kind. We want to live our authentic life. So these are a few things that we were offered so much today, so much. And we have an opportunity now to take what we have learned and integrate that and move forward. So I want to invite you in the next 24 hours to make a decision. What is the one action that you're going to take away from today to implement within the next 24 hours? What is the one thing that you're going to do differently when you walk out of here today? Is it your breath? Are you going to decide to pay attention to your posture? Get messy and have fun with it. When I start learning a new skill, I can tell you I am laughing a lot. I think I have 8 feet sometimes when I'm at tango lessons. It's crazy. And that's okay, because it's not about me showing up and being perfect. It's about me showing up and being me, and being messy, and being okay with being messy. I think sometimes as women, we just put this pressure on ourselves. Please, open your hearts and have some fun with it. There's a quote Maya Angelou says, stand up straight and realize who you are, that you tower over your circumstances. So we heard what was shared about challenges, and we all have those moments. Sometimes it's every 5 minutes I need to keep telling myself, it's okay, it's all right, you'll be okay, just keep going. And we can do it. So I'm going to offer you, as we end, if you could recall your present sentence. And there was a movie in 1990, I believe it was, in Roadhouse, where this was done, and Amy Cuddy, who wrote the book Presence, she's the high priestess, I heard it said, of presence. And she invites us to do, if anybody saw the TED Talk in 2012, the power pose. And so with your present sentences in mind, I'm going to ask you to stand. And for those of you who don't know the power pose, you're going to learn it right now. So you're going to hands on your hips, your legs a little bit spread apart, and head tilted up. And on the count of 3, you're going to say your present sentence out loud. And for those of you who are shy, say it just under your breath. On the count of 3, I want all of you to say your present sentence. 1, 2, 3. I am enough. Thank you. Have a seat. And I just want to end again by saying thank you to all of the organizers, and I feel extremely passionate about the work that I do. And so I would like to offer an opportunity for someone to, if they would like, to have a coaching session with me, if you would like to develop your ideal presence, and I think the box is somewhere. If you could pick one, Marina.
Then we'll do a couple of questions.
Oh, yeah. Sorry for that.
Me too. And the winner is Naomi Cow from MTS. Is Naomi still here? No?
So just come and see me afterwards at the table.
Okay, we have time for some questions for Christine. So there's the mic. See someone heading for it? Or possibly the ladies' room? This is your chance. There's some great information in that brain. Okay, we have a question. Tell us your name.
My name's Sarah. I really appreciate you going over affirmations, and I've been trying to coach myself to speak affirmations from my heart and convince myself of everything I'm saying. My question for you is, what is your favorite affirmation, or do you have a go-to, and how do you really coach yourself to believe in it while you're saying it?
That's a great question. Thank you for asking that. Mine is I am enough. And what I do, I have a Post-it, actually I have many Post-it notes. I'm actually known for Post-it notes. My home is covered with Post-it notes. And so I have one in the bathroom, and I have a heart, and it says I am enough. And I have it in my bedroom, and I have it in my kitchen. And I use the power pose before I go out in the morning, and I say, I am enough. That's just a few of the things that I do. I also keep working with the opposition within myself, that voice that says, no, you're not. And I challenge it, and I say, no. And then I say, yes, I am enough. So it's like any muscle that we want to keep practicing it until it does become natural. So thank you so much for your question.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Hi.
Hi, I was wondering if you had any advice for naturally introverted people. I've heard a lot today about how people got ahead by being chatty, by going out and talking to other people, and that type of thing. But what about people who are more introverted, not as comfortable doing that type of thing?
Thank you so much for your question. I could go on for half a day on this subject, or a day. And I just want to say to you and all the introverts in the room, presence isn't about being an extrovert. Presence is about who you are when you walk in this room as you. So if you are naturally an introvert, from the research and from what I've read, is you get recharged by yourself. It doesn't mean that you're not out in the world. So by your intention, why are you going to a particular meeting, for instance? It doesn't mean that you have to be the out there person. The invitation is for you to be the you person. And if that means talking with one person, being on your breath, doing what you know to get through those nervous times, and if only your goal or your intention for that meeting is to speak with one new person, then be okay with that. So it isn't about being somebody that you're not. This is really an invitation to be everything that you are. And there's a really great book, Susan Cain wrote it, called Quiet Influence. And I've actually used her book when I've worked with clients who are introverts, because again, this isn't about being somebody that you're not. It actually means being more of who you are according to your life and what's right for you. So thank you for your question. That's really important.
Thank you.
We have time for one more. If not, thank you very. Oh, there is someone? Oh. Okay.
Hi. I'd like to ask about children. I imagine it can be applied to children as well, and if you had any specific advice in helping children be more themselves.
I can't speak personally because I don't have children. The research that I've done, though, well, first of all, developing, I think all the moms in the room would be able to answer this better than me. What I would offer, though, is that allowing our children to be exactly who they are and embracing what's called growth mindset. It's research that's just come out recently to encourage children to be okay with making mistakes, that it isn't about being perfect, and allowing them to develop into the amazing beings that they already are and keep moving forward. So kids really get the breath. In fact, the baby's breath is the perfect breath. You know, babies breathe through their tummy naturally. So I would just offer that, you know, with what we would say to ourselves, if we want to develop our ideal presence, let kids be who they are and really encourage them to be messy, make mistakes, you know, move their body, which they naturally do. And I think it's what do we want to model to our children? You know, for me, I had amazing and still have amazing models in my life, and I want to be like the qualities that they are. So for your children, could you be the model that you would like to embody for them as they grow up? So that's from my heart to your heart. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Christine. That was lovely.
Thank you.
Always appreciate it.